everyone, welcome to Biosecrets. Today we will discuss important questions of chemistry. Class 9th chapter is matter around us pure. So question number 1 is, what is a pure substance? So a pure substance consists of only one type of particle and has a uniform composition throughout. Example of pure substance is water and gold. Next, question number 2. Give two examples of elements and compounds. So two examples of elements are oxygen and iron, and two examples of compounds are water, carbon dioxide. Come to the next question number 3. What is mixture? So a mixture is a combination of two or more substances that are physically mixed but not chemically combined. Example of mixture are air, salt, water. Come to the next question number 4. Name the method used to separate salt from water. So salt from water separation method used is evaporation. And when we have to separate iron fillings from sand, we will use magnetic separation method. Question number 5. What is the Tyndall effect? Give one example. The scattering of light by particles in a colloid or suspension is called the Tyndall effect. Example of Tyndall effect is light passing through fog. Question number 6. Differentiate between homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. So first property of homogeneous mixture is their composition. Homogeneous mixture have uniform composition throughout, but heterogeneous mixture do not have uniform composition. Visibility. Homogeneous mixture components are not visible separately, but in case of heterogeneous mixture, components are visible separately. Example of homogeneous mixture, salt water and air. Example of heterogeneous mixture, oil and water. Second example. Come to the next question number 7. Why is air considered a mixture? So air is a mixture because number 1. It consists of different gases like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and water vapor. And point number 2, the gases can be separated by physical methods like liquefaction and fractional distillation. एयर को हम मिक्सचर क्यों कंसीडर करते हैं? बिकॉज एयर में डिफरेंट गैसेस प्रेजेंट होती हैं. ऑक्सीजन भी है, नाइट्रोजन भी है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड भी है, वाटर वेपर भी है. सेकेंड पॉइंट इज गैसेस को हम सेपरेट कर सकते हैं फिजिकल मेथड से. जो भी एयर की गैसेस हैं उनको हम फिजिकल मेथड से सेपरेट कर सकते हैं. तो जो सेपरेशन बाय फिजिकल मेथड इज द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ मिक्सचर. सो एयर इज अ मिक्सचर. क्वेश्चन नंबर 8. हाउ इज अ कोलाइड डिफरेंट फ्रॉम अ सॉल्यूशन? कोलाइड किस तरीके से सॉल्यूशन से डिफरेंट होता है? सो हमें यहाँ पर डिफरेंस बताना है कोलाइड एंड सॉल्यूशन के बीच में. So solution have a small particle size and colloid have medium particle size. Appearance of solution is transparent and appearance of colloid is translucent. Solution shows no Tyndall effect, but colloid shows Tyndall effect. Example of solution is salt water, but example of colloid is fog. Question number 9. Why is alloy considered a mixture even though it has uniform properties? Alloy में uniform properties होती हैं, but फिर भी हम उसको mixture consider करते हैं. क्यों? Answer is, an alloy is a mixture because point number 1 is, it consists of two or more metals mixed in varying proportions. Alloy में two or more metals mixed होते हैं अलग अलग proportion में. Point number 2. The components are not chemically combined but physically combined. Alloy में जो chemicals present होते हैं वो chemically combined नहीं होते हैं, वो physically combined होते हैं, इसलिए हम alloy को mixture consider करते हैं. Point number 3 is, it does not have a fixed composition like pure substance. Question number 10. Why is water a compound and not a mixture? वाटर को हम कंपाउंड क्यों कंसीडर करते हैं, मिक्सचर क्यों कंसीडर नहीं करते? वाटर एक कंपाउंड है बिकॉज पॉइंट नंबर 1 इज, इट हैज अ फिक्स्ड रेशियो ऑफ हाइड्रोजन एंड ऑक्सीजन. वाटर में फिक्स्ड रेशियो होता है हाइड्रोजन एंड ऑक्सीजन का, दैट इज 2:1. The point number 2. The properties of water are different from its constituent elements. वाटर की प्रॉपर्टीज डिफरेंट होती हैं उसके कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट एलिमेंट से. जैसे हाइड्रोजन की प्रॉपर्टी और ऑक्सीजन की प्रॉपर्टी डिफरेंट है, बट वाटर की प्रॉपर्टी डिफरेंट है. Next is point number 3. It cannot be separated into its elements by physical methods. Water को हम separate नहीं कर सकते हैं physical method से. Therefore, water is a compound, not a mixture. Now come to the next question number 11. Explain different methods of separating mixtures with example. Different methods बताने हैं mixtures को separate करने के examples के साथ. Answer is some common separation techniques are: first is filtration. Filtration is used to separate an insoluble solid from a liquid. Insoluble solid को liquid से separate करने के लिए filtration method का use करेंगे. For example, if we have to separate sand and water, we use filtration. Point number 2 is evaporation. Evaporation removes a dissolved solid from a liquid. Dissolved solid को liquid से separate करने के लिए evaporation method का use करते हैं. Example is, if we have to separate salt from seawater, we use evaporation. Number 3 is distillation. Distillation separates two miscible liquids with different boiling point. Two miscible liquids with different boiling point. If we have to separate two miscible liquids with different boiling point, we use distillation. Example, water and alcohol. Point number 4 is magnetic separation. It separates magnetic substances from non-magnetic ones. Example, iron from sand. Last method is chromatography. Chromatography is used to separate different colors from ink or dye. Come to the next question number 12. What are the characteristics of a compound? So characteristics of compound are: point number 1, compounds have a fixed composition. Compound में composition fixed रहती है. For example, H2O always has 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Point number 2, they are chemically combined and cannot be separated by physical methods. So compounds जो हैं वो chemically combined होते हैं और physical method से separate नहीं किए जा सकते. Point number 3, the properties of compounds are different from the properties of their elements. Compounds की properties उनके elements की properties से different होती हैं. Next is point number 4. They have a definite melting and boiling point. Compounds का definite melting और boiling point होता है. Last point is they can be broken down into simpler substances only by chemical reactions. Compounds को हम break कर सकते हैं simpler substances में only by using chemical reactions. Next is question number 13. Explain the difference between metals, non-metals and metalloids. Properties, appearance. So metals have shiny appearance. They are lustrous. Non-metals are dull and metalloids can be shiny or dull. Next property is conductivity. So metals are good conductor of heat and electricity, but non-metals are poor conductor except graphite. This is the exception of non-metal which is a good conductor of electricity. Non-metals are semiconductors. Next property is malleability. Metals are malleable. They can be hammered, but non-metals and metalloids both are brittle. Next property is ductility. Metals can be drawn into wire, but non-metals and metalloids both are non-ductile. Example of metal are copper and iron. Example of non-metal are oxygen and sulfur. Example of metalloids are silicon and boron. Question number 14. Why is blood considered a colloidal solution? So blood is a colloid because number 1. Blood consists of plasma as solvent and cells as solute particles that do not settle down. Point number 2. Blood shows Tyndall effect, light scattering property. Point number 3. The particles are too small to be seen but large enough to scatter light. Therefore, blood is a colloid. So this is all about the important questions of this chapter. इस chapter का complete explanation हमने previous video में किया हुआ है. You can watch from the playlist section. If my video is helpful for you, then please like, share and subscribe this channel. Thank you so much.